Monte Blake, but most people know me as Monty. I am the last of four Blake brothers who are what's called the Meritone, which is a sound system. My function with Meritone is primarily to keep it cohesive and try to organize and really ensure that people know what we have done over the years. You could call me the curator. You know, I keep the artifacts and I, in my own way, try to keep it out there. As you know, in Jamaica, it's unfortunate that once you age, people see you as dinosaurs and all. So we're going to say we're dinosaurs that rock. You know?
We see you as legends.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what Meritone, the Meritone story is all about. It started in Monte Blake, St. Thomas, which is a very historical city in the sense that that's where really the revolution started, and so people could get to vote and all. There's a young man called Paul Bogle who, you know, kind of gave the British some stress, and after that people started to get the right to vote and all. Prior to that, you had to be a landowner. So we like to say we are the second revolution from St. Thomas. Winston is more or less giving you the history about our dad and all of that. So I won't go there, but you know, we were really the first sound system in the parish of St. Thomas. And in the beginning, you have to understand that sound system, as you know it, was something not for the middle class or rich folks. They danced to bands. Sound system was the milieu of what we call the bottom floor as the ghetto or whatever they call it. So then we actually championed the parish. We were the best sound system there, and primarily because we created our own style of music called Meritone music. And we did it our way because in those days were tube amplifiers, and as Winston said, it was 78 records which were made out of shellac, not vinyl acetate. And while they would have these big, powerful tube amplifiers, we use European sound, the more refined sound. We use Philips from Holland and the speakers. So my dad was a salesman. He used to do that to augment his money. He worked with the government, and he used to sell radios. So when Winston suggested that they do it, it was a natural progression, even though, you know, middle-class people frowned, as we were then, maybe lower middle class, you know. So we captured St. Thomas scene. We were there, you know, for about 10, 12 years before we actually came to City. I think we made our big Kingston debut in 1962, 62, and from then we never turned back. You know, a lot of people are curious where these little country boys coming to the big city. But they never forgot us after that until then. You know, Monte Blake is begging us, our hometown, when you coming back, guys? You know, so it's a reverse. But, you know, I'm proud to say that, you know, for what our father left when he died, I think if he had left money, it would not have impacted as much as the music. In terms of, we eat, as they say, we eat rice. You know, we eat bread. But, you know, the true value of the cause can't be quantified, because the friendship that we have garnered over the years, there's no monetary value to that. As you see, Skill Cole, Bob Marley, you know, Meritone is one of the only places. We had 2 prime ministers, 3 prime ministers. We had P.J. Patterson being a guest DJ, said his birthday. So you find there, our crowd is not really concerned about, you know, who you are. You know, it's like you leave whatever it is at the door and you come in, and inside our thing you will see very educated people, very not so educated people, young, old. It's a place that people bring their family to. That's the environment we have created, and we still strive for that to this day. So we came to Kingston. We did a lot of things around town. Like Winston said, we were the people's radio, because the radio station, and they were only one at that time, to be honest, never played local music. If they do, it was a small amount. You would just have to listen to the top 40 American, and on Sunday, you know, it's a lot of classics and all of that. But they never countenanced the local music. So we became the, you know, the public radio for most of the producers, including our favorite Lee Scratch Perry and all of those guys, you know. We played around for a long time. We made a niche for ourselves. We started to play at places that sound system have never gone before. You know, the Sheraton Hotel, which was never a sound system place, was bands. And we played at the University of the West Indies, which I think was very good for us because most of the young business people at that time weren't allowed to go to Marathon. So here comes a guy called Ronnie Nasrallah, and he suggested that, you know, when you mention sound system, my parents not gonna do that. So he coined, well, it wasn't his word, it was, I think, a word from Paris, France, discotheque, which, as you know, is a French nightclub. But we were mobile anyway, it didn't apply, but I didn't really fight against it. But, you know, you're going to the disco, so disco was popular then, so we call it the Marathon Disco. So any sound you hear saying that they're a disco, it's a misnomer, but you know, it's because of Marathon. So, you know, you couldn't say you're going to a dance, it would be a selected house party, but you pay, and all of that. So we had to break down that stigma and that barrier, and we did it very well. And, you know, from then on, you know, the road was open for so many other more sound systems. You had people from, you know, up at the top of the pole. Their sons are interested in music, and you know. But, you know, since that time, we were the only ones that really had survived. And the people ask why, and there are several answers to that. One is a quote from a great poem that the heights of great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. Day while I was sleeping at night, we were toiling upward in there. We were always on the street. We're streetwise. So, you know, music equipment is everything. But if you don't live it, we're there at funerals, we're there at weddings, we're there. We're a very charitable person. As a matter of fact, we just championed a cause to get a girl a new prosthetic leg because she had diabetes, was amputated. That is the whole business. It's a lifestyle. It's not just playing records or owning a rare record. It's a little more to that. So that is Marathon. We came to Kingston. We played around some lovely joints, which was like the Sombrero, the VIP Club, you know, Copacabana, Peyton Place. Those were the places at the time. And then we ran out of places to play because some of them are becoming, you know, commercial entities like banks of properties. So Winston got the idea to open the Turntable Club, which was over there on Red Hills Road for 28 years, non-stop, till a little violence disrupted the whole thing and we had to close it down. Turntable Club was a remarkable club in that just by the name Turntable, it indicated that we were playing records because most nightclubs of that time were band-driven clubs. So we had the turntable, it lasted. We saw a lot of luminaries coming through there. I mean, you name it, you know, Andrew Young from Atlanta, you have, Winston, give me some luminaries. It was the first place a live recording was done by 9-year-old. It's Dennis Brown Live is the record. Oh, we have so many people coming through Turntable. Prime ministers, you know, Manley was there regularly, and, you know. And Turntable Club did well. It's still, I think, probably the longest running nightclub of any Jamaican historic and stuff. So we were there in Turntable. During that time, Winston now saw the need. There's a lot of migration going on and what we call the diaspora, meaning Jamaica living abroad. And Winston took up that slack by going to Atlanta, New York, all over the place, playing in these little pockets where Caribbean, Jamaican people mostly were. So that is why we're so popular abroad in the diaspora, from Florida right up the eastern seaboard to California. We used to play there because, you know, they were there and they feel the need for a little home and thing. One of the other great high points of Marathon was Winston, because of this recording company that asked him, you know, to try and do a little thing so they could get new artists. And this is how, you know, he had what you call the VIP Talent Series, which was at the club called VIP. And that's where, you know, artists like Beres Hammond, his wife, late wife Cynthia Sluss, the Mighty Diamonds, the, give me some names. Jacob Miller, the Tamlins, Rudy Thomas. These are all these came out of Marathon. Unfortunately, we never signed them, so we didn't just make any money off of them. Another great thing is that you call the Marathon label. There was a gentleman out here that had a recording company called Federal Records. And because of Marathon's popularity, he asked Winston, and again, we're not good business people. We never got any money for him using the name Meritone. But on that, you see a lot of hits, especially one by Upton Lewis called Grooving Out of Life and all of that. It's well documented. As a matter of fact, somebody just sent me the whole thing about him saying why he used Meritone and all of that. Richard Coury is the name of the guy. And then, you know, we went to Cuba quite a few times, first by boat to Havana and Santiago, and we had a great experience there. And we're now at the waterfalls, which Peter likes a lot. And yeah, we've been there for 10 years. So actually, you have what you call in Jamaica now, I don't know if I'm right, politically correct in saying it, but dancehall, as you know it, is not really like that anymore. Sometimes it's a little watered down now, trying to find some international recognition. We at Meritone created this situation where, you know, like it's family oriented, and we are now in the process of, you know, being an all-inclusive place where you can find just about everybody there in a really wonderful environment. We've been at the waterfalls. There was a time when we were at Turntable Club. And I think, you know, every time, you know, you ponder about changes and all of that. And we had probably the only nightclub that had every night going. Now in Jamaica, if you notice, most clubs have one good night and they close down. And the guy said to themselves, you know, we used to play all these hits, and later down in the night, we played a little section of oldies, or old school, or retro, or whatever they call it. Let's try one whole night of playing old music. And I don't know if you see what's going on in today. Almost every dance is retro or oldies. So we started that as well. You know, we're credited for quite a lot of things that we're not really distinguished for in terms of history. But we pay it no mind. We go along. We have another fabulous event called the Meritone Reunion, which is on the 24th year this year. It's a weekend, but Winston saw fit that so many people abroad, let's bring them home and mix with the local people in a North Coast resort. And that is just, I mean, we're going to Negril this year at Hedonism 2, and they're waiting for us. Because we were at Hedonism 3 for 4 years, and then we were in Sunset Beach. We always do it at the not always, for the last 12 years it's at all-inclusive, because we used to have it where people rent villas. But, you know, so much grog and driving, it's best to be here. What we say, come for the weekend, throw away the keys till Monday, and you know, it's continuous entertainment, all night, all day. In the days, live acts, and then that augmented with what the hotel puts on. It's really a great joy to be there. It's value for your money. You have to walk away and leave it. Yeah. It's a marathon, yeah. So we have that, and we have several, you know, gigs, you know, in Kingston and around town, and we have our charity events, and we still like live music. Every last Saturday, every last Sunday, I do a thing with jazz, because, you know, you'd ask Winston, why is the beat so pronounced? My special feeling about Jamaican music is that I think all dance music is predicated on the Cuban rumba, the clave. And we put our special bass line to it. But I think it all had its genesis in New Orleans, when the Caribbean people, you know, went there to work. And then you had the revolution in Haiti, and the Haitians were coming there. And they had a melting pot. There's a little place where you call Tremont. It's across Highway 10 there, where they used to gather on a Sunday and really play the music. And that's where it evolved, you know, the blues to rhythm and blues or jump blues, and that got this little, the beat is directly African or Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean, but the melody always comes from Europe. All the melody, sweet melody, is European. And they put it together, and that's why we have what we have. And it's Jamaicanized, because, you know, we have the drums and a lot of, you know, a lot of all that's in the music is the gospel. The, you know, religious music is in there. somewhere. Like let's say in New York, New Orleans, the same people you see tonight, you see tomorrow at church. So one guy fell asleep in a dance place, and when he wake up, he heard the tambourine and thing. He said, "Damn, people went home and changed their clothes." It's the same thing. So that's Maritone in a nutshell. We have what you call the Maritone family, which is people that have grown up with us. Yeah, like when you drive, like Skill Cole, Alan, that man, he used to come to in the 70s. He was there, and they're always faithful to us, to the Merry, even if they don't go out or they go anywhere. And we have created this style of music that you call merry music. In essence, if we're not there and somebody else is playing it, you remember Maritone. And that is what we have done. You know, sometimes people criticize us for us because, oh, I hear that record, I know what's going to come next, and I know this going to follow on that, but that's inculcation. It's like reading the 23rd Psalm every time you go to church. Yeah, you know, people have to know what to expect, and then we have this other knack of bringing a new or two new records every night, so we leave you, you know, even though we're playing the same, more or less, you shift it around, but you're getting something new as well. And the trouble is, if you don't play it, they're going to say, I don't know, it don't sound like Maritone tonight, so you're damn if you do and damn if you don't. But I'm hoping when you come up, you will get a little touch of it, hoping we have a good night. Yeah. To tell you about Sweden, we love Swedish people, and there was a time in Jamaica that Volvo used to rule this road. If you didn't have a Volvo, you didn't have a car. They used to call it, it went into politics one time. It says Jamaica is Volvo and videos, because video just come in and stuff. But you make reliable cars, and I have to tell you, I got a ride in one, the new shapes, and it's really wonderful. And this American guy was singing something, you know, about Volvo, and I just kept quiet, because we knew that long time. But we hope that the connection is thing. We really respect that you came out here, take time to really, you know, get a little touch of Jamaica, and we hope it will work both ways. I suppose it will work more for us, you know, but it's really, you know, really heartening to see you, Peter, your wife, and your lovely daughter, and we hope that one day Maritone will play in Sweden as well. You never know.
Would that be something, right?
Yeah, because I know you like good quality music. And Winston had an experience where he was asked to speak in Seattle about Jamaican music. And then this guy get up, I don't know where he's from, he's Caucasian. And when he finished speaking, Winston said, well, I don't have nothing else to say. He said it all. Because I studied this thing, what we take for granted. We could be here and don't go to Dunsmuir Fall. We drive past it every day. And we say, oh, we go there one day. This guy can tell you about Dunsmuir Fall and another place up the river. And you never do, and you're a Jamaican. So, you know, things we take for granted, people from without comes in and really appreciate it more than we do.
I just have one question. If I understand you correctly, you are also, I mean, you're not just playing Jamaican music.
No.
No, you play everything.
No, we play a variety of music.
Yeah.
Let's give you an idea of what we play on a given night, depending who is there, because we are mindful who comes through the door. That is, you must know your music enough that it's pure ladies tonight. You don't play too much slow songs because they don't have anybody to dance. But our lineup basically on a Maritone night is to play a little mento, which is the original indigenous Jamaican music, a little ska, which you don't hear anything, and we always play Bob Marley, which I guarantee you hardly hear at any other dance in Jamaica, as much as popular Bob Marley is. We have funky, which is, you know, funky music, a little disco, soca, which is Caribbean, calypso soca, because that animates people a lot, and we play Robin Thicke, and we play Pharrell, and we play everything, but it's all about how you balance it and how you present it. It's difficult to have a girl at 18 and a girl at 79 dancing, you know. It takes more than just putting on records. It's a science. And you have to study that, because you can get a lot of flack from one if you're playing too much of the other. You're not playing anything for me, you know, but the whole thing is to leave people singing. And then we have a style where we call it the chorus, where we just slow down the record and everybody sing. You know, we have, like, there's a song we play that I Want to Go Back Home, which is Bob Marley. And when we get to the horn section, I mean Bob Andy, pardon me. When you get to the horn section, we just slow down the thing and you hear the crowd saying, pra da pra pra, They know the hand charts because we used to have to know all the hand charts when we were young. Right? We, you know, we'd be singing and we'd say, take the tenor. And so that's how we do it. But as the name as I said, we are merry people. We're not happy, we're merry.